Good morning.
It's cold.
It's chilly.
I gotta tell you, the only thing that gets you to the gym when it is 7 degrees out is habit.
Habit forming, yes.
I feel so bad for people who decide to start their fitness journey in January.
And we notice right now there's not a lot of new people in the gym.
No.
The gym's pretty bare when we get there in the morning these days.
Because it is too cold.
And the gym's cold too.
I actually said something today. They had to go up on the roof to change it, and he's been trying to avoid doing that. But he did.
You know, we don't want inconvenience then.
Right, exactly.
Right.
He did today, so when we left, I could smell that the heat was on. So I was very happy about that, since it was warmer.
Got warmer.
What did you do for your workout?
Today was shoulders, triceps, and abs. And lower back with the abs.
How was it?
It was good. I had a good workout today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I did legs today.
Yeah?
I did 100 walking lunges.
You told me.
I was very proud of myself.
Uh-huh.
So I did that, and then I did leg presses, which there were pumpkin seeds on the floor by the leg press. I
didn't
not understand this.
I didn't do it.
It's very strange.
I don't travel with pumpkin seeds.
No?
No.
All right. What are you having for breakfast?
This morning we are having oatmeal. Should I say how much of everything? I notice I don't do that, but we have it written down.
I have it written down. It's on the R&R Journey page.
I have my oatmeal, of course, and with it I have my amla powder, my sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds. And so what I have is a quarter cup. I don't think we put that in. That's new.
Right, that is.
So I take a quarter cup and I go half pumpkin seeds and half sunflower seeds. Then I have the chia seeds, the hemp seeds, the spirulina, and the mixed fruit. We have mixed fruit today, and banana.
Banana, there you go.
I feel like I'm missing something.
He gets through it all eventually.
Yeah.
And I have all the same stuff, except I have steel cut oats that I soaked overnight, so I don't have to cook them. I just heat them up in the morning because that's faster.
Yeah.
And then I put dried cranberries in mine because that's yummy. So that's good. But I wanted to talk to you guys. Oh, my notes are over there. Can you hand me my notes? I watched 2 new TEDx talks yesterday about health and wellness. One was called The Blue Zone by Dr. Dan Buettner, I think is how his name is said. And he studied the humans who've lived the longest on the planet. And then, which other one did I watch? I watched The Pleasure Trap by Douglas Liesel, maybe. He's a psychologist. It's pretty interesting. But I wanted to talk about how we all know what's healthy, like that's not news, although big food does lie to us. So I'll give you that big food does lie to us. So there is that challenge. But once you get past the lies that big food and big sugar and big government and big pharma and all those big people,
all the big guys
who are making money on our death,
because
that's what they're doing, they're killing us for money.
Right.
Once you get past that, you know what's healthy for you, but we still don't do it.
Right.
And I figured out why, which is pretty impressive. And there's a chart, there's a graph in the TEDx talk that is called The Pleasure Trap, where he talks about how when you eat natural food, you get medium pleasure. So there's low pleasure, medium pleasure, high pleasure. You get medium pleasure from natural food in your natural habitat. But if you eat junk food, processed food, sugar, high fat, all that stuff that we talk about that's got really high calorie, low volume, all of that, then you get high pleasure. And that's why you eat it, because it's high pleasure. But then if you eat that consistently, what happens is your body acclimates to that. Good morning, Kristen. It's good to see you.
Morning, Kristen.
Your body acclimates to that pleasure level, and so it goes back to medium pleasure. So now you're eating the junk, and you're still getting the same medium level pleasure that you were getting when you were eating the healthy food.
Vicious cycle.
So, but here's where the challenge comes. If you then so you're at medium pleasure eating unhealthy food, if you go back to eating the healthy food, your body says, oh, that's yucky, and you get low pleasure. And you have to get through that valley where your body's like, I don't like this stuff, this isn't yummy, I don't enjoy it, of low pleasure, and then your body will acclimate back to the healthy food, and you'll get medium pleasure from food again. And that's the challenge that people have, is it's their body's acclimated to the junk. And you were talking to somebody today who was saying it's really hard for him.
It's really hard for him, yeah. He's like, well, my wife does it better. And he actually, what did he say to me? He said his wife read that, because I recommended to him, so this is the story. I recommended to him that they pick like we do, like a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever day is their most convenient day, and make a bunch of food for the week. Your rice, your...
we do that, do we?
Well, you do it. But We are we. So when you do it, that means we.
All right, so you recommended they do that.
Right. And all the things that they can have. Because he said the hardest thing is getting stuff prepared. So we'll prepare this stuff. He said, well, my wife read that you shouldn't eat food leftovers.
Really?
And I said, well, first of all, where did she read that?
And who was?
And basically he said, well, she didn't read that after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving, and it was actually some show or something. I don't know. She might have read it, but I don't think the source was great. But the point is, and the point I made to him is that, so what they're talking about is don't take your animal products and don't take your processed foods, prepare them, and then put them in the fridge to eat later.
Right.
We're not talking about that.
No.
We're talking about natural whole foods.
And they'll keep in the fridge usually 5 to 7 days pretty easily. And if they have tomato in them, longer than that, because the acid will support them longer than that.
Right. So the point being is you make
Although
food
they never
for the
last
week.
that long.
You make food for the week.
Right. That's a great point.
And that's the thing. And he said, that makes a lot of sense. I said, well, give it a try.
Right. And then I was talking to here's an interesting point. The one thing that people are coming up to me and saying more than anything else is, oh my God, your skin looks so good. And that to me is weird. I lost 20 pounds and the thing they're commenting on is my skin.
Right. Officially, nobody said anything about my skin.
I don't know why. That's very strange.
I just want to make that point.
But what I learned yesterday is that your skin is the last organ to get nutrients.
Yeah.
So when your skin starts to look good, you know that you're nourishing your body correctly because all your other organs take the nutrients they need first, and then your skin gets nutrients. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But as Americans, we're all about having control and believing that we're in control. And there's very few things we actually have 100% control over. Very few. Right. One of them is what you eat. As an adult, you pretty much have 100% control over what you choose to eat. Right. And yet, so many of us choose to eat crap. And what it is we're not choosing that. We're addicted to crap. Because of big food and big food making money off of us.
We saw the documentary that compared the sugar industry to tobacco.
Big tobacco.
Right, and
they're using the same stuff.
Right, and they do predict that eventually there will be a lawsuit like there was against big tobacco for the sugar industry, and all the physical harm they've caused society.
And what's really sad? The sugar industry is subsidized by the government.
Oh yeah.
Which means we as taxpayers are paying the sugar industry to make sugar cheap. So we can eat it and it'll kill us. Right. So we're paying to be killed.
Right. So we can have things like diabetes and heart disease, and then that of course destroys the healthcare system because everybody's sick.
Don't get on that soapbox.
But I'm saying it is kind of a vicious cycle, right? It's cause and effect.
Yeah, I'm looking at the notes that I have from the Hacking of the American Mind because it was talking about how Big Pharma didn't used to want America healthy because they made money from unhealthy people. But now with the way Obamacare is set up, they actually make more money if you pay into it but then never use it.
Right.
And so now all of a sudden the insurance wants us to be healthy because
they make more money.
They make more money that way. Yeah. But guess what? People aren't healthy because they've been killing
us. But that's probably where the lawsuits are going to come from. You're going to have big industry against big industry.
Yeah,
it's going to be a battle, and you'll start seeing it in the news. I'm predicting it right here, right now.
First, you heard it here first.
That's it.
But they don't call a Happy Meal for nothing. It does hit dopamine receptors and addict them early, and you have a customer for life.
That's it.
And so that's what we've run into is that so many of us are addicted to sugars, fats, and salts in our food that when we go back to eating the natural food, we get low pleasure from it. Right. And you have to get through that. And there's nothing I can do to make that better for you. You just have to keep eating the healthy food until your body goes, oh yeah, right, I like this stuff.
I hate to use this term, but in a way it's withdrawal symptoms.
It is. Oh, speaking of.
Yeah.
So Russ gave up coffee. We told you because of the acid in it and his concern about it leaching calcium from
especially
bones
as I get older.
As he gets older. So he gave up coffee. Good morning, Sarah. It's good to see you. Yeah. Thank you for the hearts. We love the hearts and the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So Russ decided he's going to stop drinking coffee. And he was drinking, what did you say, about 40 ounces?
It's about 40 ounces of coffee.
Decaf.
Well, it was about 2/3 decaf,
okay, 2/3
caffeine. But yeah, so I was drinking about at least 40 ounces a day. Probably a little bit more. Right.
So how did you feel yesterday?
I had a headache most of the day.
And we didn't realize until probably late in the afternoon, I texted him from my office upstairs to his office down here. I texted him and I said, I think you have a headache because you're in caffeine withdrawals.
Right. So even though I was mostly decaffeinated, I was still getting caffeine and my body was still loving it and it did not appreciate Day 2, and this is still green tea.
And that's decaffeinated green tea.
Yeah,
so there's a little bit of green tea in it. That's not.
Oh,
my screen went blank. It's like, hey, we're watching that. Don't do that.
That threw me off completely. I'm lost now. Where are we?
But yeah, we have decaf green tea that he's drinking, and I have my regular ginger, turmeric, and with a little bit of squeeze of lime juice tea. Right. So that's what I
will
drink.
Probably experiment with other teas.
I have a lot of them. I drink a lot of tea.
And I have not gone there yet. I'm just right now starting with the green tea.
But as the point being, any addiction, whether it's caffeine, sugar, alcohol, gambling, sex, food, all of them, they're horrible.
Well, wait a second.
To overcome.
All right, sex addiction. Okay, I get it. I was like, wait a second here.
Wait, sex is good. We aren't talking about that on this show. It's a different kind of show.
Sorry. Pardon me, folks.
But if you get through that hump of your body not liking real food, you will enjoy it again. And we're at that point now. So, yeah, Kristen, herbal teas are great, aren't they?
Like I said, I will experiment. Recommendations are welcome. You have something you like, so I'll share it, and I'll probably try it.
Yeah, and when it's not a fasting day, sometimes I will put a little bit of honey in mine for a nice treat. Right. Not always, but sometimes. But that's what we wanted to share with you guys, is that we know what's good for us, and the reason we don't eat it is because we're addicted, and that is big food's fault. We can absolutely blame it on them directly. They have done it on purpose. They have engineered food to hit all of the receptors in our brain that say, oh, this is yummy, this is good for me. Yeah. And it's none of those things. It's not good for you.
The research and the money is going in the wrong place, right? I mean, when you have stockholders and you're on the stock exchange and you got to keep showing profits, you got to sacrifice something, and it's usually the society, the people are the sacrificial lambs. So.
Big food is addicting us. Hey, Sarah, let's see, Sarah. That's a long 3 weeks to get over sugar and gluten withdrawal. Yep. Cheat a bit. And isn't it funny how if you cheat a little bit, it makes it worse?
Yeah.
Like you feel like it's going to be good. And I told you guys yesterday, Russ gave me 2 cookies for my birthday. I only ate 1, so I have 1 left.
And she ate 1 all day. Like she didn't eat 1 in one sitting.
I ate bites of it all day, so that was really yummy. Yeah. But we have to, as adults, and for our children, if you have children, we have to decide that we're going to take control over what we eat and how we take care of ourselves, because all the big industries are in it for the money, and they're killing us for money.
And when, just on the children really quick is, I've talked to parents where they think they have to give their kids the fast stuff because that's what all their friends have and all that. But if you think about it,
I didn't grow up with any of that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you think about it, think about things that you learned from your parents when you were young that stuck with you. I am a very, very big anti-smoking person. Robin will tell you that.
He's huge.
I could be the poster child for that.
Don't get him on that soapbox, guys.
So here's the thing. Both my parents smoked, but they drilled into my brother and I that don't ever do this. It's the worst thing you can do. They were just distraught that they couldn't quit this habit that they had and all that. Fortunately, my mom did wind up quitting. Mm-hmm. My father wound up killing at 59. So
he died of lung cancer.
Yeah. So that stuck with me, and I'm still very much a non-smoking, get away from me type person.
He hates it when people walk by him and smell like cigarettes. He can't deal. And there's a couple of people at the gym who just reek, and I know it really bothers you.
And not to say they're not good people or decent people. I just had this embedded in me from my parents. And my point being that is you take children and start saying, yicky to the sweets and, oh, this is so good. They don't know any different. They're babies. They don't know what's good and what's not.
And the thing is, we all start out 100% plant-based. When you're born, if you are fed breast milk, you are 100% plant-based. Yeah. And then we change our children over to eating the junk. Mm-hmm. So that's
sometimes it's because you're battling, the neighbors' kids and all that and what they're able to do, and sometimes it's because you're battling convenience. It's very easy to hop in a car and go to McDonald's or go,
Yep.
And it's cheap.
And it's convenient.
Right.
But it's not food.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what we have to do. Kristen, or maybe it was Laura, said we have to take back the control. We have the control. We just have to own it.
That's it.
And I see all your guys' comments. I will read them and respond to them afterwards. But we own what we get to eat. We get to decide that. No one is forcing you to eat junk.
Right.
So we have to decide to be over the addiction and to change it, and whatever that takes. And as we said yesterday, if nothing else, start eating more of the plants.
First, and eat them first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's our tip for today.
That's it.
More plants. As we always say, my computer's deciding it doesn't want to be on.
No, it's going to sleep on us.
It's going to sleep on me today.
Bizarre.
It's very strange. Yeah. So, and I have the mouse here. I completely forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Blonde moment. Sorry.
There you go. So, and with that?
Yeah, we're done.
With that, we will say, eat real food, not too much,
mostly plants.
Have a great
good
day,
one.
guys.
We'll see you tomorrow.